Now Khadījah radiallahu anha had trust issues with a merchant, or merchants taking her caravan. She definitely has trust issues getting married now, because she doesn't want to get married to someone who's only going to marry her to cheat her with all of the wealth that she has. So she doesn't trust people for marriage. So she's been unmarried now for over a decade. The Prophet ﷺ is also unmarried, and there is a woman that puts the bug in Khadījah's ear, Nafisa. Okay, so Nafisa was a friend of Khadījah. She goes to Khadījah and asks her, how's everything? And Khadījah starts talking about the Prophet ﷺ, this young man, Muhammad, who took her caravan and just was so honest, and how noble he was. And she starts to say all of those things. So Nafisa sees the spark in her eye, and Nafisa says, well, why don't you marry him? Khadījah radiallahu anha said, I wasn't interested in marriage, and I've been turning people down this whole time. So it's not really something I thought of. The Prophet ﷺ was also turning down all proposals. Why was the Prophet not getting married? He had a poor family. He wanted to take care of his family. So the Prophet ﷺ was holding off getting married. Khadījah radiallahu anha, obviously the Prophet ﷺ from an economic perspective, his class compared to her class, this is a very different class. Khadījah radiallahu anha, in a conversation with Nafisa, asks Nafisa to inquire from the Prophet ﷺ if he's even interested. So Nafisa is the one playing the role here, right? She heard from Khadījah, she got the, okay, she's interested. She goes to the Prophet ﷺ, she says to the Prophet ﷺ, why don't you get married? He says, I have to care for my family, I have to take care of them, but who would you suggest anyway? And Nafisa says, what about a woman with nobility, wealth, beauty, character? She's got everything. The Prophet ﷺ said, who? So she said, Khadījah. The Prophet ﷺ said, why do you think she would marry me? What would make Khadījah radiallahu anha, Amiratu Nisa al-Quraysh, the princess of Quraysh, Sayyidatu Nisa al-Quraysh, marry me? So Nafisa says, let me ask her. So Nafisa goes back to Khadījah. Khadījah sends the proposal. Abu Talib comes back with the Prophet ﷺ, and who conducts the marriage? Come on. Waraqa, good. Just want to make sure you all were paying attention last week. So think about this. Tahira, the pure one, marries Al-Amin, the truthful one. Right? SubhanAllah, their nicknames, Tahira and Al-Amin.
Support Khadījah with the subscribe and share, cause every share is your sadaqah jariyah.